I died choking on my own blood in the back of a cab. The driver's panicked screams fading into the screech of tires as the world flipped upside down. Betrayed by the man I called Minter, framed for embezzlement that wasn't mine, I watched my life unravel in a single email. My career, my dreams, my everything, before the semi-truck smashed through the guardrail. But death wasn't the end. It was a goddamn reset button, slamming me back into my 28-year-old body on a rainy Tuesday morning in 2022, 3 months before the knife twisted in. The alarm blared like a siren in my skull, and I bolted upright in my cramped Brooklyn studio, sheets tangled around my legs like restraints from a bad dream. My heart hammered, not from the hangover I remembered faking last time around, but from the visceral flash of that final betrayal. Victor Hale's voice on the phone, smooth as silk. "Sophia, kid, it's nothing personal, just business." Bullshit. It was everything personal, a calculated gut punch to bury me alive. I stumbled to the mirror, staring at the face I knew too well. Dark curls frizzing from the humidity, brown eyes still wide with that perpetual mix of grit and hope. But now, those eyes burned with something feral, a predator's gleam. Victor thought he'd won last time, turning me into the fall guy for his offshore slush fund, letting the firm eat me alive while he climbed to partner. Not this time. This time, I was coming for blood, metaphorical, sure, but it'd feel just as sticky. Rain pelted the window like accusations, blurring the view of the East River below my walk-up. I splashed water on my face, the cold shock grounding me in this second chance. Last life, I dragged myself to Hale and Associates that morning, clutching a lukewarm coffee, oblivious to the noose tightening. Today, I skipped the caffeine ritual. No more playing the eager beaver. I pulled on my go-to pencil skirt and blouse, professional armor that screamed underrated asset, and grabbed my laptop. The email from Victor was already waiting in my inbox, timestamped 6:47 a.m. "Sophia, need you on the Peterson merger SAP. Swing by my office first." Peterson merger, the crown jewel that should have been mine. In the old timeline, I'd slaved over those projections for weeks, crunching numbers until my eyes bled, only for Victor to refine them overnight and present them as his own. The client ate it up, and I got a pat on the back and a "keep up the good work, kid." This time, I'd make sure they knew whose brain fueled that beast. The subway ride to Midtown was a sardine can of suited zombies, the kind of commute that grinds your soul into powder. I leaned against a pole, scrolling through my phone. Not the mindless TikToks from before, but Victor's LinkedIn. There he was, silver fox with a jawline like chiseled granite, posts dripping with false humility. Grateful for the team's hard work on Peterson. Couldn't have done it without them. Lies. The team was me, and a couple of interns who fetched his dry cleaning. Hale and Associates occupied the 42nd floor of a glass monolith on Lexington, all chrome and ego. The elevator dinged, and I stepped into the bullpen. Open-plan purgatory where junior associates like me pecked at keyboards while seniors like Victor lounged in corner offices with views that mocked our rent-controlled misery. Heads popped up as I passed. Nods from the paralegals, a smirk from Jenna, the receptionist who moonlighted as Victor's spy. "Morning, Sophia. Boss man's in a mood. Aren't we all?" I shot back, forcing a smile that didn't reach my eyes. Jenna blinked. Last time, I'd have laughed it off. Not today. I beelined for Victor's door, knocking once before pushing in. He looked up from his desk, that trademark grin flashing, equal parts charm and shark. Mid-40s, ex-frat boy turned rainmaker, with a wedding ring he forgot to wear half the time. "Sophia? Right on time. Grab a seat." His office smelled like expensive cologne and fresh betrayal, floor-to-ceiling windows framing the skyline like a postcard from hell. I perched on the edge of the leather chair, crossing my legs. "Peterson brief ready?" "Almost." He leaned back, steepling his fingers. "Listen, kid, this one's big. Multi-billion merger, tech giant swallowing a startup. If we nail it, it's partner track for whoever brings it home." His eyes lingered a beat too long, appraising. Last life, I'd flushed, thrilled at the implication. Now, I saw the hook. Bait me, reel me in, then gut me. "I'm all in," I said, voice steady as steel. "I've got ideas on the valuation models, leveraged buyout angles that could shave millions off the premium." Victor's brow arched, genuine surprise flickering before he masked it. "Bold. Show me. I flipped open my laptop, pulling up the file I'd accidentally emailed myself last night, backdated to look like I'd been tinkering since last week. Slides flew by, charts spiking like heart monitors, risk assessments that screamed genius. His eyes narrowed, devouring the data. Damn, Sophia. This is sharp. Where'd you pull these comps from? Public filings, a little off the books digging. Lie. I'd memorized them from the future, the ones that sealed the deal. Peterson's undervaluing the IP portfolio. AI patents worth double if we spin them right. He whistled low, leaning forward. You're not just the office girl anymore, are you? The words hung, laced with that paternal condescension he wielded like a weapon. In the old days, it had stung, reminder of my place as the token millennial workhorse. Now, it fueled the fire in my gut. Never was, I replied, holding his gaze until he looked away first. Score one for the ghost. The rest of the morning blurred into prep, calls with the client team, where I inserted myself seamlessly, dropping nuggets from my slides that had the lead counsel nodding like I'd hung the moon. Victor hovered, interjecting with his refinements, but I let him, for now. Let him think he was steering. By lunch, the Peterson execs were buzzing in our conference room, a pack of Silicon Valley wolves in hoodies and khakis, eyeing us like fresh meat. And there, across the table, was Marcus Reed, Peterson's CFO, the wild card who'd upend everything last time. Tall, lanky, with a beard that screamed trust fund hipster and eyes that dissected you on sight. In the original timeline, he'd dismissed me outright, calling me the note-taker when I tried to pitch. Victor swooped in, and poof, deal done, my credit stolen. Today, I waited for the lull, then slid my tablet across. Mr. Reed, if I may, our models suggest a 15% haircut on the synergies if we don't ring-fence the AI assets. Here's why. I tapped play on a sim I'd rigged. Projections dancing like fireworks, bottom line gleaming greener than envy. The room went pin drop. Reed's eyes locked on the screen, then flicked to me. Who prepped this? Sophia Reyes, I said, chin up. Associate here. Victor shifted beside me, but I felt his glare like heat off asphalt. Reed leaned in, ignoring the suits. Sophia, walk me through the Monte Carlo sim. Assumptions. We dove in, numbers flying, hypotheticals clashing like swords. The others faded. It was just us, two nerds geeking out over balance sheets. By the end, Reed was grinning, actual teeth showing. Kid, you've got balls. This changes everything. Victor cleared his throat. Team effort, Marcus. Sophia's got the raw talent. I shaped it. Reed's gaze slid to him, cool as cash. Sure, but I'm booking one-on-one with her tomorrow. Solo. The words landed like a grenade, shocking the room into stunned silence. Jenna's jaw hit the floor from the doorway. Even the coffee cart guy paused mid-pour. I kept my face neutral, but inside, victory tasted like bourbon, smooth, with a kick. Victor's smile cracked at the edges, but he recovered with a chuckle. Of course, whatever the client wants. As the meeting wrapped, handshakes all around, Reed pulled me aside. Off the record, your work's the only reason I'm not walking. Ditch the puppet master. Come work for me when this closes. His card burned in my palm, a lifeline from the future I hadn't dared dream. Back at my desk, the whispers started. Did you hear? The office girl just stole the show. Victor's pissed, face like thunder. I tuned it out, fingers flying over keys, emailing backups of everything to a ghost drive I'd set up at 3 a.m. Evidence trail, baby. Every slide, every note, time-stamped, ironclad. But as the afternoon dragged, doubt crept in like fog off the Hudson. This was day one of payback, and already the ripples were hitting. Victor summoned me to his office at 4 p.m. sharp, door clicking shut behind me like a trap. Sophia, he started, perched on his desk's edge, arms crossed. That was impressive, but let's talk optics. Reed's a loose cannon. Flattery gets him off, but deals close on trust. Mine. I nodded, all innocence. Understood, Victor. Just wanted to make us look good. You did. A pause, his eyes probing. But don't get ahead of yourself. You're valuable, irreplaceable, even, but this firm's a pyramid. Climb too fast, you tumble. Threat wrapped in advice. Classic Victor. Last life. I nodded, gratitude swelling like a fool. Now, I saw the subtext. Back off, or else. Appreciate the wisdom, I said, standing. I'll keep that in mind. As I left, his voice stopped me. Oh, and Sophia? That's Sim. Remind me where you got the data source again. My blood iced. He'd smelled the anachronism. SEC filings, cross-referenced with Crunchbase. Nothing proprietary. He waved it off, but the seed was planted. Paranoia, his Achilles heel. I'd watered it perfectly. Evening rush hour swallowed me whole, but I didn't go home. Instead, I detoured to a dive bar in Hell's Kitchen, the kind with sticky floors and no questions. 2 stools down from the end, nursing a whiskey neat, was Elena Vasquez, paralegal extraordinaire, the one who'd tipped me off too late last time about Victor's adjustments to my files. She'd quit after my scandal, guilt eating her alive. Tonight, she was 3 years younger, hair still in that messy bun, scrolling her phone with a sigh. I slid onto the stool beside her, signaling the bartender. 2 more. On me. She glanced up, wary. Do I know you? Not yet. I extended a hand. Sophia Reyes. Hale and Associates. You. Elena. Same hellhole. Her grip was firm, calloused from file boxes. We clinked glasses, small talk flowing easy. Complaints about Victor's ego, the merger buzz. Then, casual as confetti. Heard Reed singling you out. Jealous. She snorted. Girl, if I had your guts, I'd be running the place. Victor's all smoke, steals ideas like candy from babies. My pulse quickened. Yeah? Like what? Elena's eyes darted, voice dropping. Off record. Last year, that biotech deal, Junior named Mike did the heavy lifting. Victor edited the deck, took credit. Mike got canned for insubordination. Sound familiar? It did. Too familiar. Shit. You see anything on Peterson? She hesitated, then shrugged. Not yet. But watch your back. He's got a side hustle. Offshore stuff. Whispers of laundering through dummy core. If you're rocking the boat. The words hung, a ghost from my grave. I died knowing too little, too late. Not now. Thanks, Elena. Oh, you won. Make it 2, she grinned. And if you need dirt, hit me up. I left with her number and a plan solidifying. Allies first, then ammunition. Back in Brooklyn, rain still drumming, I fired up my laptop. Deep dive time. Victor's digital footprint, scrubbed but not spotless. Public records, donor lists. There, a shell company tied to his ex-wife's maiden name. Breadcrumbs to the slush fund that had framed me. Sleep came fitful, dreams of twisted metal and Victor's laugh. But morning brought clarity. This wasn't just revenge. It was reclamation. The office girl was done playing nice. Day 3 dawned crisp, autumn bite in the air. The bullpen hummed with merger fever. Phones ringing off hooks, interns sprinting with stacks. I arrived early, coffee in hand, black, no sugar, fuel for war, and cornered the IT guy, Tim, by the copier. Timmy, favor? Can you flag me on any file accesses for Peterson? Just curious. He blinked behind his glasses. Why? Victor's got that locked. Exactly. I slipped him a 20, eyes twinkling. Humor me. By noon, alerts pinged. Victor downloading my sims to a personal drive. Sloppy. I mirrored them silently, watermarking with invisible metadata, my insurance policy. The one-on-one with Reed was at a rooftop spot in Soho, wind-whipping skirts and egos alike. He was there first, nursing an IPA, overlooking the Hudson like a king surveying peasants. Sophia, he waved me over, pulling out a chair. Glad you made it. No suits today, call it off hours brainstorming. We ordered, salads neither touched, and dove in. Reed was sharp, probing my background. Columbia Econ, clerked at a boutique firm, clawed to hail on merit alone. Underdog story, he said, toasting. Love it. What's your poison? Why mergers? Power. I admitted, surprising myself. Not the flashy kind. The quiet shift where one signature rewrites fortunes. Grew up in Queens, mom waitressing doubles. Saw how the game's rigged. Figured I'd learn the rules, then bend him. He laughed, genuine. Ruthless. Good. Peterson needs that. Victor? Solid closer, but he's predictable. You? Unpredictable. Flattery or fact? Both, probably. We hashed angles. Hostile takeover contingencies. Tax shelters that danced on IRS gray lines. My suggestions landed like mic drops. His nods turned to outright theft of my phrases. Brilliant. Steal that for the board. By sunset, he'd floated the offer again. Jumped ship post-close. Led my M&A team. Equity, the works. Tempting. Last life. I'd have balked. Loyalty to Victor like a bad tattoo. Now, thinking on it. But yeah, intrigued. As I cabbed back, phone buzzed. Victor. How'd it go? Reed spill any tea? Smooth. He's bought in hard. I paused, baiting. Mentioned some concerns on due diligence. Offshore holdings in the startup. Silence stretched. Then, handle it. You're on point. On point. Music to my ears. That night, Elena texted a tip. Victor's calendar had a consult with a Cayman accountant at midnight. I tailed him digitally, VPN masking my IP as I scraped public ledgers. Jackpot. Transfers from Hale's escrow to a BVI entity. Victor's fingerprints all over. But doubt not. Was this enough? Exposing him meant torching the firm, my colleagues' jobs. Jenna's kid in daycare, Tim's student loans. Collateral damage in my vendetta. The first controversial call. Leak anonymously or go nuclear. I chose middle ground, plant seeds. Next morning, I accidentally CC'd a redacted ledger snippet to the Peterson team, flagged as prelim findings. Reed's reply, WTF? Dig deeper, Sophia. This smells. Victor cornered me by lunch, face thunderous. What the hell was that email? Due diligence, I said cool. Transparency builds trust. Trust. He hissed, door shut. You're playing with fire, kid. Back off the fringes, or You'll what? I stepped close, voice low. Frame me like you did Mike? Bury me in bullshit audits. His eyes widened, fraction of a second, but enough. He knew I knew. What are you talking about? Save it. I turned, leaving him sputtering. The pyramid was cracking. The fallout hit like a nor'easter, whispers turning to stares, Victor's allies circling like hyenas. Jenna dropped a stack of files on my desk, pages shuffled to bury the Peterson folder. Subtle sabotage. I ignored it, focusing on the war room. Conference calls with Reed's crew, where my voice dominated, Victor reduced to echoes. By week's end, the merger teetered on a knife's edge. Reed's board demanded audits on those offshore ties, my leak bearing fruit. Victor spun damage control, schmoozing late nights, but cracks showed, bags under his eyes, temper fraying like cheap thread. Elena and I met for tacos in the village, her treat. You're a hurricane, chica, she said, lime dripping from her chin. Victor's raging, blames you for the audit flags. Good. I chased mine with Modelo. Got more? His ex, any dirt? She leaned in, eyes sparkling. Divorced 2 years back. Messy, prenup fight over business assets. Rumor is, she knows about the shells. Lives in the Hamptons now, runs a gallery. Name's Lydia Hale, no Voss now. Lydia. The ghost in Victor's stories, the one that got away. Last life, I'd pitted him over scotch, listening to woes. Now, leverage. I drove out next weekend. Rental beater to blend, no trace. The Hamptons screamed old money. Shingled mansions, waves crashing like applause. Voss Gallery squatted on a dune, all white walls and pretentious abstracts. Lydia was mid-40s, blonde bob sharp as her cheekbones, greeting patrons with a smile that didn't touch her eyes. I posed as a buyer, Sophia Grant, art consultant from the city. She bought it, pouring Chardonnay in a back room strung with fairy lights. What brings you? The Rothko knockoff. Curiosity. I swirled my glass. Heard the owners got stories. Ex of a lawyer, Victor Hale. Her laugh was brittle glass. Ancient history. What? Research. I leaned in, conspiratorial. Mergers, his firm's in one now. Offshore wrinkles. Thought you might. Advised. Eyes narrowed, but curiosity won. Victor's always had a nose for gray areas. Our split? He hid assets, BVI trusts, for the kids we never had. I fought lost, but I kept tabs. She pulled a drawer, sliding over a thumb drive. Screenshots, emails. Proof he cooked books on a client deal years back. Use it wisely, or don't. Just make him pay. I pocketed it, heart thundering. Why help a stranger? Because fuck him, she said simply. And you look like you need ammo. Back in the city, I pored over the files, transaction logs tying Victor to a Ponzi-like scheme, siphoning fees into personal yachts. The embezzlement he'd pinned on me, a fraction of this iceberg. My frame-up was distraction, smoke for his fire. But wielding it, moral quicksand, leaked to feds, and innocents drown. The firm folds, pensions vaporize. Play internal, and Victor strikes first. The controversial pivot, Seduce the snake. Use his ego against him. Monday, I dressed lethal, fitted dress, heels that clicked like countdowns. Knocked on his door post-lunch, when scotch softened edges. Victor, truce talk. He gestured, wary. Sit. I did, crossing legs slow. Peterson spooked. We fix it together, or lose everything. Including your golden ticket. His gaze dipped, predictable. Exactly. I stood, rounding the desk, perching beside him. You're the closer. I'm the spark. Partners. The word hung, loaded. His hand brushed my knee test. I didn't flinch, leaning in. Real partners. Heat flared, his kiss crashing like a verdict. Wrong? Hell yes. Power play wrapped in taboo. But in my old life, I died pure. Purity got me killed. This. Survival. We tumbled to the couch, clothes shedding like lies. After, tangled and slick, he murmured, You're dangerous, Sophia. You have no idea. I traced his chest, memorizing scars. Bullet from a hunting accident, he'd say. Lies upon lies. The affair ignited fast, stolen hours in hotel suites, alibis woven tight. Elena clocked it, cornering me and the ladies. Girl, what the fuck? Victor? That's career suicide. Or latter, I countered. Trust me. She didn't, but stayed loyal. Fed me his schedule, covered tracks. Reed noticed too, during our next huddle. You seem distracted. Everything good. Never better. Lie. Guilt nod, but resolve hardened. Each rendezvous, I probed. Passwords whispered post-climax. Server access confessed over room service. By month 2, I had keys to his kingdom. Emails, drives, the Cayman logs mirroring Lydia's dirt. The merger accelerated, deadlines biting. Victor grew cocky, toasting our win at firm happy hours. Arms slung possessive around me. Whispers evolved. Sleeping her way up? Deserves it, smart cookie. Sexist barbs stung, but I swallowed them. Controversy brewed. Was I avenger or opportunist? Then, the first strike. I fed anonymized tips to Reed. Internal concerns on Hale's ethics. He pressed, source? Close to the fire. Our calls turned tense, his trust in me fracturing. Sophia, if you're in over your head. I'm not. But doubt whispered. Was I becoming Victor? Midway through month 3, the bomb dropped. A whistleblower email to the board. Me, masked IP. Attached the slush fund proofs. Not full blast, just enough to trigger internal review. Victor's reaction? Fury in our suite that night, slamming doors. Someone's gunning for me. You hear anything? Nothing solid. I soothed, hands on his shoulders. Inside, triumph warred with nausea. The review hit like flu season. Audits, interviews. Victor stonewalled, blaming rogue elements. Me? I played victim. Shocked, sir. Loyal to the firm. Reed pulled strings, demanding my input solo. In his office, neutral ground, Jersey views, he paced. This Hale guy's dirty. Walk away, Sophia. Join us clean. Temptation clawed. But revenge demanded finale. One more play? Then I'm out. He searched my face, nodded. Don't make me regret betting on you. The climax brewed in the boardroom, merger eve. Full team, tension thick as fog. Victor presented the final deck, my bones, his flesh. Applause polite, but Reed's eyes bored holes. Then, my turn. Addendum. I clicked. Screen bloomed with ledgers. Transfers glaring red. Due diligence complete. Hale and Associates has been. Creative with client funds. Exhibits A through Z. Gasps rippled. Victor bolted up, face ashen. Sophia? What is this? Justice. I stood, voice echoing. You built your empire on stolen work. Mine, Mike's, others. Framed us to cover your tracks. No more. Chaos erupted. Shouts, chair scraping. Security loomed as Victor lunged, finger jabbing. You bitch, I made you. You broke me. Last life's pain surged, but I held steady. And now? You're done. Feds swarmed by dawn. Tipside cued post-reveal. Victor cuffed in the lobby, Miranda rights droning. His glare? Pure venom. This isn't over. It was. But as confetti fell on the merger close, Peterson inked, Reed clapping my back, the twist gutted me. Lydia called, voice trembling, Sophia? Victor's not the monster. I am. What? Her words crackled through the burner phone. I ditched post-cuffing, but too late. Echoes in my skull as I stared at the skyline from Reed's new office. Merger sealed, headlines screaming, Hale and Associates implodes. Junior associate exposes fraud. Me, the hero, Sophia Reyes, whistleblower darling. Interviews lined up, offers pouring in. But Lydia's call? A grenade in the rubble. I drove to the Hamptons again, this time in a borrowed Tesla. Reed's welcome gift. Waves mocked me, crashing indifferent. The gallery was shuttered, closed for private event, sign swinging. Lydia waited inside, decanter in hand, eyes red-rimmed. You came. She poured scotch. Neat. Sit. Truth time. I took the glass, perching on a stool amid canvases that screamed chaos. Start talking. Victor's rotting and holding. Your proofs lit the fuse. She laughed hollow. My proofs. Half-truths, honey. Victor's greedy, sure, skimmed edges, hid toys. But the big sins? Mine. A sip, then the flood, post-divorce. Bitter as bile, she'd hacked his systems. Old passwords, easy marks. Planted the heavy transfers, the Ponzi webs, framing him as the kingpin to bleed him dry in court. I wanted everything. House, cars, revenge for his affairs. Yours included, by the way. Affairs. Plural. My stomach twisted. He told me. Swore you were the cheater. Gaslight 101. She slid over a folder, photos spilling. Victor with interns, clients' wives. Me, blurry shot from our suite, time-stamped weeks before my death in the old timeline. But you? He planned to elevate you. Partner track, real. Until I whispered in his ear, she's trouble. Digging too deep. Pushed him to the frame-up. Your crash? Collateral. I timed the leak to spook you. Make you bolt. Bullshit. Or was it? Flashes hit. The anonymous tip Elena got too late, mirroring Lydia's style. The cab ride home that night. Tires screeching not from rain, but sabotage? A shadow in the rear view, gone. Why confess now? I demanded, voice cracking. Guilt. She shrugged, but eyes gleamed. An opportunity. Victor's empire crumbles. You inherit the scraps. But with my full files, you bury him forever. Or, we split the settlement. 50-50 on his frozen assets. The offer slithered, temptation's serpent. Power, wealth, avenge my death, or become the villain. Controversial calculus. Ally with the devil who lit the match, or burn alone. I left with the folder, mind reeling. Back in the city, Reed's team faded me. Steakhouse blowout. Toast to the badass who toppled Goliath. His hand on my arm lingered, warm. Proud of you, Sophia. What's next? You. I said half true. But sleep evaded, ghosts wrestling. Victor's cries from the cells, Lydia's smirk, my own reflection. Avenger or monster? Dawn brought decision. I met Elena for coffee, spilling the twist over lattes. Her face drained. Dios mio. So Victor. He cared. In his fucked up way. Bittersweet poison. But the frame? Still his hand. Lydia just oiled it. What now? She gripped my wrist. Feds have him. Let karma finish. Karma was lazy. I chose chaos. Full disclosure. Uploaded everything. Lydia's hacks. Victor's complicity. To a dark web drop. Tipped to DOJ. Double barrel blast. Fallout tsunami. Raids on the gallery by noon. Lydia in cuffs. Screaming denials. Victor's bail hearing turned circus. Lawyers bickering over who pulled whose strings. Media frenzy. Love triangle torpedoes firm. Ex-wife and protege in crossfire. Me? Untouched, the ethical whistleblower. But scars itched. Reed proposed formally over dinner. Ring glinting like promise. Build something real, Sophia. No more games. I hesitated, old life's loneliness howling. Yes. But as we kissed, doubt lingered. Was this happy, or hedge? Months blurred. New gig at Peterson, corner office with Hudson views. Elena joined as my right hand. Jenna too. Rehabbed, wary alliance. Victor plea bargained down to 10 years. Lydia 15. Conspiracy jackpot. Their cells echoed my crash's silence. Justice's hollow ring. But the real twist? In quiet nights, I unearthed my own buried sin. Scrolling old emails, a draft from pre-death. My own adjustment to a minor filing, fudging a deadline to cover a slip-up. Petty theft of time, not money, but enough to haunt. I'd been complicit, blind to the rot because it suited me. The office girl wasn't innocent. She was asleep. Awakening hurt, but freed. I confessed to Reed. No details, just past shadows, and he held me tighter. We're all gray, babe. Own it, move on. Thanksgiving loomed. Family in Queens buzzing over my glow-up. Mom hugged fierce, whispering, "Proud, Mija. Whatever storm you weathered." If only she knew. As turkey carved, laughter rang. I glanced out, rain tapping like reset drums. Second chance spent, but echoes of the first lingered. Betrayal's bite, revenge's cost. Worth it? Hell yeah. Yet, in the afterglow, a final hook, my phone buzzed, unknown number. Text, "You think it's over? Watch your rear view." No cinder, but the cab's shadow flickered. Paranoia or ghost. I deleted, but sleep fled. The game's never done in this city. Pyramids rebuild, snakes shed skins. I'd won the battle, but war? Eternal. Winter clamped New York like a vice, slush sucking at boots, holidays hawking cheer amid the grind. My life post-Victor? Montage material. Reed's arm around me at galas, headlines fading to footnotes. A loft in Tribeca where boxes unpacked into permanence. Elena crashed movie nights, her laugh chasing shadows. Stability, that rare bird. But the text nod, a splinter under nail. I traced it. Burner, untraceable. Dismissed as crank from the circus. Victor's crew, maybe bitter echoes. Still, I installed cams, varied routes. Paranoia as armor. Christmas Eve, Reed's family spread in Connecticut. Trees strung with lights like accusations, ants prying over eggnog. So, Sophia, the merger maven, how'd you snag Marcus? Hard work, I quipped, winking. Truth, ruthless calculus. His mom pulled me aside later, by the fire crackling soft. He's smitten. But you? Eyes like you've seen wars. Hurt. I sipped, throat tight. Lost a round once. Learned to fight dirty. She nodded wise. Just don't lose yourself in the ring. Her words dogged the drive back, snow swirling like regrets. Reed dozed beside me, hand on my thigh, anchor. But in the loft's glow, unpacking the last box unearthed it. A photo from the old life. Me and Victor at the firm picnic, arms linked, smiles plastic. I'd kept it. Subconscious sabotage. Trash it. I did, but flames in the sink mocked. Burner or not, some fires linger. New Year dawned brutal. Hangover from champagne toasts. Reed snoring soft. My phone lit. News alert. Lydia Voss escapes custody. Fugitive in wind. Shit. Her face splashed. Mugshot glare. Blonde bob hacked short. Last seen fleeing a transfer van in Jersey. Guards distracted. Accomplices? Unknown. Reed stirred. Babe? What's up? Nothing. Lie. I kissed his forehead, mind racing. Lydia loose. Wild card. Venomous. Our deal shattered. She'd paint me as co-conspirator, spin the narrative. I called Elena first. Voicemail. Then Tim, the IT ghost. Sophia? Heard. Want me to lock your digital? Do it. Paranoia peaked. Was the text hers? The shadow? Days blurred into siege. Reed noticed, pressing gentle. Talk to me. This Voss thing, it's got you spooked. Understatement. Overtie takeout, I spilled. The thumb drive, the offer, the upload. His jaw tightened, but eyes stayed steady. You did right. Expose the rot. But if she's gunning, we hire protection. Simple, his way. Ex-cop detail, low-key. Safety net. But controversy called again. DOJ subpoenaed me. Clarify involvement. Hearing in Foley Square, wood-paneled tomb. Suits grilled. Ms. Reyes, your access to Hale's files. How intimate. Professional. I lied, cheeks burning. Victor's affair fresh in their minds. Tabloid fodder. Lydia's shadow loomed. Fugitive briefs hinting inside help. Post-hearing, free but frayed. I tail the lead. Her gallery contact. A sleazy art dealer in Chelsea. Posed as buyer again, but he bolted mid-chat. Eyes darting. Not Voss's scene anymore. Out of pocket. Too late. Tail lights vanished into traffic. Frustration boiled. I punched the dash, knuckles splitting. Reed cleaned the cut that night. Quiet. This ends you, Sophia. Let feds hunt. Can't. Voice broke. She lit the fuse on my death. Pushed Victor to frame me. Timed the crash. Closure's a myth without her head. He sighed, pulling me close. Then we ended together. Alliance forged. We pulled. Elena's street smarts. Tim's hacks. Traced Lydia to a flop house in Red Hook. Burner pings. False name. Stakeout dawn. Fog thick as deceit. She emerged. Hood up. Duffel slung. Wiry accomplice shadowing. Heart slammed. This was vigilante line. Cross it and join the Grays. Controversial endgame. Confront or call cops. Reed's hand squeezed mine in the car. Your call. I chose middle. Tail, corner. We blocked her alley exit, engine idling. She spun, eyes wild, knife glinting streetlight. Reyes? You traitorous cunt. Drop it. My voice echoed old crashes. Accomplice lunged. Reed tackled, pros wrestling grunts. Lydia bolted. I pursued, heels shedding, into warehouse guts, crates looming like tombstones. She whirled in shadows, blade arcing. You think you won? Victor was mine. Weak, but mine. You stole him, then torched us. Delusional. I dodged, grabbing a pipe, equalizer. Clash, metal rang, sparks flying. She was feral, scratches raking my arm, but grief-fueled, sloppy. I fainted, disarmed, knife skittering. On knees, she spat blood. The crash? My guy in the cab, brakes cut. For you. Confirmation's knife twisted deeper than steel. Why? Balance. Laugh manic. You climbed my ladder, fell harder. Sirens wailed, Reed's call. Cuffs clicked, her glare fading to defeat. Tell Victor. Sorry. I didn't. Feds hauled her, narrative sealed. Recaptured, plot thwarted. Aftermath. Catharsis, bittersweet. Scars healed, physical, psychic. Reed and I married spring. Small ceremony on a pier. Elena toasting to second acts. Mom danced, eyes misty. But the twist's tale, in Lydia's duffel, a letter, to me, unsent. Sophia, Victor confessed pre-arrest. Loved you real. Planned to leave me, the firm, for you. My hacks. Desperation. Forgive? No. But no. You were as happy. Tears blurred ink. Love? In that mess? I burned it, ashes to wind. Happy endings twist. Mine, laced with what-ifs. Now, summer hums, belly swelling with our first, life's bold rewrite. I glance rearview often, but see only road ahead. The office girl. Evolved. Scarred, sure, but steering. Betrayal taught. Trust sparse, fight fierce. Revenge? Pyrrhic prize, but reclaimed souls the true win. In America's grind, hustle, heartbreak, horizons, we rise or we reset. And me? I'm driving.